Took us till the middle of January, but we have our complete 2018 Formula 1 grid. After months of speculating in a construction of Kubica hype train so vast it would make Brunel blush, Sergei Sirotkin was confirmed as Williams' second driver for the season, with the aforementioned Kubica his teammate. Now, while you're cleaning up the wreckage from said hype train, allow me to wrap up what's been a bit of a hot mess that this team has had in getting to this point. Let's go back to the end of 2016 here. It's not spoken about much, but you could make the case that Nico Rosberg's shock retirement caused the domino effect that ultimately screwed this team over. Felipe Massa rode off into the sunset, Lance Stroll was brought in as the future project, but despite months of stalling, Valtteri Bottas took the no-brainer option as Lewis Hamilton's new punching bag. Imagine giving your former employee one of your cars and a perfect send-off, then asking him to come back for another year. Must be a bit of a dent to your pride. Part of me felt somewhat bad for Claire, but you don't expect a then borderline top team to clean house. But Felipe, being the super nice man he is, came back for 2017. That was his first mistake. His second was getting comfortable. He was more than willing to continue on if Williams wanted him, but it was pretty obvious by mid-season they were flirting with other options. Paul di Resta and Robert Kubica were both offered tests, and the press were filling column inches with alternative options, like Kvyat and Wehrlein and even Oliver Rowland, hence the confusion about that soft age limit of 25, given their sponsor is Martini, who have a Challenge 25 policy. Fun times. So Massa gets the hint and retires again, and after tests with Pirelli and Abu Dhabi, people clock quite quickly that Sirotkin is a bit quicker than Kubica, the hype train gets derailed, and here we are, a salty wave of internet disappointment. As mentioned earlier, I don't blame Williams for this one so much. Bottas was always a safe pick for that Mercedes seat when Rosberg hung up the gloves. This, in a sport where top-tier seats don't become available all that often, because big teams tend to either err on the side of caution or hire from within their own. The frustrating thing here is, with Sergei Sirotkin being 22, it clearly wasn't a deal-breaker for Williams to have two young drivers. So why was Pascal Wehrlein given no chance at getting the drive? He'd been exceptional in poor machinery for 2 seasons already, and has been hung out to dry by his factory team. For those sad about the Robert Kubica hype train, I understand. Williams made the right decision here, but the fact Roberts even made it this far, coming off a career-destroying accident, says a lot about his mentality, his ability, and his dedication. And if anything, being a reserve still gets him closer to that dream. He's special, and it's wonderful to have him back in the paddock in any capacity. However, for all the usual pay driver jokes we made on Lance Stroll, his rookie year was pretty solid, with a few peaks and valleys like any young driver has. And well funded. That can exist, you know. And I think that's where people are overlooking Sergei. Only 4 men have beaten him in Formula 2 over a full season. They've all driven in Formula 1 since. 2 of them are now full-timers. And the other? He won an Indy 500 at his first attempt. I think in similar fashion to drivers like Rio Haryanto or the return of Kevin Magnussen, it's not that people are anti-pay driver, it's that they're anti-pay driver we like. Not to mention, Williams have already had to double up on pay drivers once already this decade, and when that happened, well, one of them won a Grand Prix. This is going to be a big year for Williams. They seem to have lost a bit of direction, and they're a little bit in no man's land. They can't spend like the big three. Force India are the best pound-for-pound team in Formula 1 and have cemented 4th, and some big names are closing in with Renault and McLaren set to make big gains. I still think this team has massive potential, with 2 talented young drivers and year 2 of Paddy Lowe on deck, but this ship needs to find some direction soon, otherwise they could be in some real trouble. But instead of pointing your frustration at them, maybe point it to the sports leaders who don't believe the midfield is worth a damn. Ask yourself this: what's worse, a team that hires pay drivers, or the fact they have to do so to remain competitive in the first place? Thanks for watching.